Yeah, I put Pyra and Mithra in all because there's a Pyra Mithra right here. Alright. I guess this is time to get started. Now, this is always the easiest part. It's always the easiest part in the world. Getting the worst character in the game. Now you're probably thinking, oh, Goblin. Easy answer, Goblin. Easy answer. Little Mac. And you're gonna tell me that, and I'm gonna tell you my exact thoughts. Little Mac is indeed not any higher than the worst character in the game. It's unfortunately true, and there's no contest. No contest. It's Little Mac. Y'all can respectfully or disrespectfully disagree with me, but I'm gonna have to be honest with you. Little Mac is the only character in the game that has no air game. He has no air game whatsoever. You lose more than half the neutral because you don't have an air game. That's why he sucks. In Smash 4, when shield and grounded neutral was superior, and Little Mac was a better character. Coincidence? I think not. I think not. The game's rigged to be against Little Mac. He has no aerials, therefore he can't spam aerials on shield into mix-ups. So, it's not a coincidence. I know the truth. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, Little Mac, absolutely the worst character in the game, bar none. Gonna have to throw Isabelle in there. And actually, I take it back. I think Isabelle is the second worst character in this game. I didn't want to say it earlier. Because I know there's a lot of big Isabelle fans. I know. But that character does nothing. That character does nothing in life. That character will never accomplish anything. That character will never make the farm bracket. That character will never do anything. No cheese at all. Gimping, yes, it is cheese. Fishing rod, it is cheese. But all the setups that the character has are very like bait. Like you have to get baited to get fall for it, and the situations that you get baited into are usually your fault. Like, oh, you felt pressured here, so you felt conditioned to do something, when in reality, if you just disengaged against Isabelle, she couldn't be able to do anything because Isabelle sucks. Belmont, he has one of the worst recoveries in the game. It's absolutely terrible. Offline, you should never be not letting Belmont back on stage unless you can't gimp him. If you're let's say Olimar. Well, Olimar, Belmont's just bad in general. He beats Olimar, but Olimar's not that good right now, so it doesn't matter. He does good against Peach, but there's only 2 Peaches in the world. Or there's 5 max. And every other matchup I'm looking at, he doesn't do that good in. He probably does decent against Snake, and he probably beats a lot of the other cheese or low tiers and bottom tiers. But I think how hard Belmont would have to work to beat those other low tiers and mid tiers, it just isn't worth it, you know? Why would you play Belmont when you can just play not Belmont? Next, the third worst character in this game is definitely Dr. Mario. So now you're probably thinking, how is Dr. Mario even better than Belmont? Well, I'll tell you right now. Dr. Mario is a cheeser character. He actually has cheese at his disposal. Belmont doesn't really have cheese that is easily set up, you know? The whole cheese of down air and then cross and then doing another down air up B and killing it absurd percents. Yeah, that's cool. Doc has cheese matchups against almost every mid-tier, high-tier, you know? So Doc versus Bayo. Doc destroys Bayo. Doc versus Bowser. Low-key, I'm shook. I don't want to be either of them, honestly. Doc Fox has to be the most scuffed matchup in the game. Doc Greninja, scuffed matchup. Most scuffed matchup, you know? And everyone has a pocket Doc. So if you have a pocket Doc and you don't think this character is broken, what are you thinking, you know? But yeah, so Kirby, again, it's just the gimps. If Kirby is killing you, if Kirby's outplaying you, it's cheesing you, it's usually down tilt trips, gimmicks, and gimps. And by gimmicks, I mean gimps suck and just suck. Suck and down air. Cheesiest moves in the game. No contest. Dash attack, also kind of cheese. His down tilt, very, very cheese. His smash attacks are the one thing that keep him from being the worst, honestly, because Low-key, Kirby can box a lot better than characters who are made to box. Like, let's say, like Wario, Kirby's probably better at one-on-one than Wario is. On the low. On the low. Kirby just lacks heavy range and trash airspeed, which, coincidence, in a game where being in the air is amazing, you don't have airspeed, you are not a good character. And what do these three characters have in common? Terrible airspeed. Terrible airspeed. This character, terrible airspeed. Nothing in the air. Isabelle, she doesn't really do anything if she's in the air. Like, all these characters just suck in the air. Lucario is the only, I would say, exception because he's a cheeser. But Lucario is also, like, one of those characters where you gotta feel baited and you gotta, like, let yourself get pressured by Lucario to lose to Lucario. Unless you play a low tier or a character that Lucario beats, which, honestly, I can look at this roster, and the only character I think Lucario stands a chance against is Sheik. Ganondorf is the next worst character. Y'all caught me. Y'all caught me. I'm not going to put Ganondorf that high. He's just bottom 10. No higher, no worse. But Ganondorf, we all know Ganondorf. Lacks range, extremely cheese dependent, but low-key, clean nooch. Clean nooch. If you play a matchup where you kind of have to respect the Ganon, like his aerials, like his nair, and his just his dash attack, so you can't really burst into him because he'll just burst into you for like with something better. Then he's rough. Then it's a tough matchup. But usually against all these cheese characters, with a few exceptions, Ganondorf is not like really getting anything out of it. Like Ganondorf Plant, sure, Ganondorf Plant, but it's Ganondorf Plant. Why use it? It's not a big deal, you know. Junior burst option, terrible move, has the worst move in the game. Mega Koopa is broken. Or it's not really broken. It's useful, but it's only useful. It's not good, it's not great, it's not amazing, it's not terrible. It's just useful when it can be. It's not like if I don't get this Mega Koopa out right now, I'm gonna lose the set. You know? That's how people kind of think with like Robin Rob or like, let's see, Pikachu. If you don't spam your projectile, you're gonna lose. Bowser Jr. doesn't really need to spam his projectile. So the only things I think Junior really has that's really good is jab. Jab is too broken. Honestly, he probably should be higher with that jab. That jab is better than all the other characters in E tier. He has F-throw killing now, which is really good because the mix of his jab 1-2, you shield jab and you get grabbed, and you keep only shielded because you want to get rapid jab because you'll die at 100% or actually lower to Bowser Jr. jab, but you'll eventually die to F-throw. So then they condition the roll and they condition the jump and you die. It's just how it is. It's just more cheese ledge shopping you have to worry about. His side B is, you could say side B is unreactable. I don't even think it's unreactable, but the way you're supposed to be fighting Bowser Jr., you're supposed to be fighting at the mid-range. Not like right here, because if you're like bursting in and your burst isn't good enough to beat side B, and then he just beats you with side B. So you could just beat him, you play him from like mid-range and bait side B and then punish it. Like, it's not that hard. Plan is also too cheese reliant, and the ledge traps are good, but because it's only the ledge traps, and all the like nooch and the interactions is very like you have to heavily outplay your opponent, or you have to just like get one lucky hit. Get one lucky hit in neutral, and then take it away with the advantage, you know? Plant doesn't really have too much cheese to make up for it though. Only the Patui at ledge. That's his only cheese. And upside down shield is broken, but if you're a top tier like Greninja, like Joker, like Palutena, you are not getting hit by up smash out of shield if you know what you're doing. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, like me, this character, then yeah, maybe Piranha Plant's a little rough. But you should not be hit out of smash out of shield. DDD was honestly around like right here when the game dropped, maybe right here, maybe right here, maybe right here. It was really good when the game dropped. And then they nerfed items, and then they nerfed Gordo like 3 times. And then this very slightly buffed Gordo, so now he's slightly better. But it is what it is. DDD is like Piranha Plant. It's not identical to Piranha Plant, except he has better ledge shopping, better cheese, and I want to say a better recovery, but definitely recovery you can respect a little less than, or a little more than Piranha Plant, because Piranha Plant is just that like helicopter going up. So if you can hit it on the top, or if you can hit it on the side, if they angle it to the top, then yeah, you got it. But DD goes up with armor, and I think only loses armor at the apex, if I'm pretty sure. Moving forward, I'm gonna have to say Donkey Kong is the next first character. So I don't know why my opinion of Donkey Kong just went up so high. I may be brainwashed because of Wi-Fi, but I do think Donkey Kong is pretty good. Ding Dong and just getting that grab is really cringe. And I was playing Mithra and Pyro when they dropped, and I was only fighting Donkey Kong, and I would do one bad and move on shield, get grab that 60, and I was dead consistently to a grab. A grab center stage. So I feel like just enough with that. This character is like still cheesy, you know? And where did you have DK before? I probably had DK in bottom 3, maybe bottom 1, not bottom 1, but bottom 5 at best. Donkey Kong, he has cheese, he has dash attack, which is good. I feel like most characters can just trash Donkey Kong for dash attacking their shield, but I know some characters actually like can, they have to come around to respect it. And if you're one of those characters, you should be playing a new character. There's no reason to be respecting, or have to respect Donkey Kong dash attack on shield. But yeah, and DK has terrible recovery, he has back air, pretty good aerial, and he has side B and he has down B. Down B is also really cringe because it combos into literally anything. Puff, again, is like Little Mac, broken air game, but because you have no ground game, you also lose about 30% of the neutral, 30% of the whole game interactions. So Puff is already at a huge advantage about that, and I feel like all the other characters she's better than are characters who are just relying on cheese gimmicks and gimps, kind of. Or just ledge trap setups, like ledge trap setup, 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 you know? Like, it's not really anything, like, too crazy, you know? So really, K-Rool, I feel like is also kind of close, but I think K-Rool just has, just way more cheese, and his utility is just, I feel like it's just way better than Ridley. Really, I feel like he has to set up for like all the conditions and all the baits he wants to get. So in order to side beat you, he needs to bait you like tenfold to just keep holding shield. And unless you're dumb and you just hold shield mid-stage like this against Ridley, and you're like, you get side beat like that, and you're like, damn, how did I get side beat, you know? Like, you just should not be holding shield against Ridley when you're out of his range. Like, when you're out of his range, you should just not be holding shield against him. And if you're a character who can, like, I wouldn't say outrange Ridley because he has pretty good range, but if you're a character who can fight Ridley at this, like, reactable mid-range, if not a little bit longer, then he should be no problem. He's not a threat to you at all, and you should not worry. Do not worry about Ridley. Fire Breath, or I don't know, I think it's called Plasma Breath, or Plasma something. I don't know what this new ship is called. It's pretty good, but I also don't think it's that good besides gimping and getting lucky gimps. Side B cheese killing is pretty cheese, but again, you should not be getting side beat. I think the only thing really that's really crazy is his platform setup. So if he puts you on a platform and you're at like 90 or 80%, he could just run up smash you, and his up smash is so big it covers the whole platform almost instantaneously. So low key a problem, but he just can't keep up. His disadvantage is trash. The fact that he's a big body with not that big of a weight is a huge deal. It's kind of like Sephiroth, except not broken. PK Rule, ledge chopping cheese. And the fact that they keep buffing his, like, belly armor, they keep buffing his, like, intangibility, you know, it makes no sense. They just keep making him a better cheeser character. So he doesn't really get better out of the characters to fix any of his problems, but he just becomes a little cheesier. I'll say his ledge chop is definitely crazy. Belly armor Nair out of his son is pretty cheese, so it's something to look out for. This is something he has. So it's a good mix-up when you disadvantage. Are you gonna nair or you're not gonna nair? And he has really good grab game. Like, he'll down throw you, or he could up throw you, and he has back throw killing. I don't know if F throw kills. F throw doesn't kill. F throw just hits you really off stage. But Bayonetta, she just can't kill. That's a huge problem in this game. If you can't kill, there's so many cheeses in this game that you can get your opponent to 200%, but you're at 30%. I'm probably more scared than, you know, than the other person. Bayo doesn't really have like a real neutral either. It's all like read based in order to get like a side B in, and if she doesn't get that side B in, she's automatically positioned with disadvantage because she uses a special. So she's either going to go to ledge or she's going to try to mix up on your shield so she can shield poke you or just get a good hit. Bayo is pretty good against almost every heavy, I think, except maybe Bowser. So that's really good for her because, you know, Rob exists. Unfortunately, though, she doesn't really do that great against other characters except Greninja. I think Greninja's another one. But yeah, Bayo, not who she once was. I'd probably say if I were to buff Bayonetta, I'd probably just give her a slightly stronger up air. Very slightly stronger up air. Just so it can kill. That's only the buff that's actually the only buff she needs. Again, I feel like Mewtwo is this might be Roy bias because I think Roy just destroys Mewtwo. I think it's unplayable. If you play Mewtwo against Roy, you need to rethink your character choices. Mewtwo, Shadow Ball, broken. People don't play on Shadow Ball enough as Mewtwo and against Mewtwo, which is a huge problem because that's Mewtwo's most important tool. But yeah, Mewtwo, and the fact that Mewtwo doesn't really have anything that's crazy to actually outplay you. I feel like he can do run up side B, run up down tilt, and then he goes, okay, I didn't get my damage. If you shield it, he's like, okay, I didn't get my damage. I'm going to dash back and I'm going to do a Shadow Ball. And after I do that Shadow Ball, I'm going to charge another Shadow Ball, and I'm going to run back in, and then I'm going to down tilt aerial or confusion. That's literally it. That's literally all Mewtwo is, and it's so easy to play around it. Forward air, low key, it's a top tier move on a bottom tier character, but you need more top tier moves to be a top tier. Wonder Wing just sets up so much conditioning with this character that even though it's a meme move, Wonder Wing, that it's still something you have to respect in neutral, disadvantage, and advantage. So it's really annoying to deal with, but if you play around Wonder Wing, the character kind of gets shut down. He has grab, he's the down throw up tilt, down throw up smash, which is also pretty good. I don't know, the character doesn't really have much going for him besides Wonder Wing and besides relying on grenade neutral. And his setups are very 1-2. It's kind of like Toon Link, where it's he hits you and then he hits you again. I think he has to hit you 2 more times each time to actually beat you. Unless he gets a really good mix-up string after continuous reads and outplays, then you should be losing to Banjo. So you play a good character. I think Meta Knight is really bad. I know people don't think Meta Knight is as bad as I think Meta Knight is, but being a character that only relies on inconsistent combo game that can be easily SDIable, and it's just not good. He can give pretty well if you don't know how to recover against Meta Knight, or if your character just doesn't allow it. If you're playing Falcon and you have to recover against Meta Knight, you probably aren't going to recover unless you go high all the time. Meta Knight also doesn't really have any kill power besides F smash and a high up B. You're not dying to up B until from the ground, at least until 130 as a normal character, maybe 120. And with rage, you'll probably die at earliest 95 to up B. And then it's the whole just don't get F smashed lol. If you don't get F smashed by Meta Knight, you're probably gonna live 50 times longer than you would have if you did get F smashed. And it's so easy to just know when they're going to F smash because it's in the same spots. No, Meta Knight does, okay, I'm going to read the neutral get up and I'm going to get up the tag. They do F smash, I neutral get up, they mash it instantly, and then they roll back or they dash back at full distance at ledge. Charge F smash and just wait for you to roll. And then you go roll jump because you just jump. That's what you do every time. Meta Knight is also not really a threat, I feel if you know to let him air camp and then just punish him on landing. Because a lot of Meta Knights, what they'll do is they'll just air camp for neutral wins. And you can either beat them between the downers or between the uppers, or you just punish the landing and you punish the jump when they jump up again. Meta Knight edge guarding is also really good against most characters. His recovery is probably one of the best, maybe top 5, top 10 at worst. Actually top 5 definitely, I feel But yeah, and I feel he doesn't really have anything going for him. Again, he's kind of like Bayo. His neutral is very linear if he plays it from the ground. So he's either air camping you with down air and up air, or he's on the ground and he's waiting for a dash hack, or he's waiting for a dash grab. Incineroar is he's only up here, I feel because he's just the cheesiest character. He's just too cheesy, and they keep buffing him to make him even cheesier, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can say that Revenge, side B killing you at 60 or 50 or 40 at ledge is not a problem. It is a problem. We have to address it. So Incineroar, Revenge, it's like King K. Rool Nair, except instead of getting 8%, 12% out of and getting a combo breaker. You get a combo breaker, a free like 3%, and your next move will kill no matter what. No matter what, your next move will kill. At 0%, 2%, 3%, 4%, your move is killing. And this character doesn't make sense. Ledge trapping against this character is pretty free, honestly. It's all about waiting for the side B and being ready for it. So I wouldn't play it scared, the whole ledge trapping of being scared of side B. Just be ready for it and have it conditioned. So if you are ledge trapping Incineroar and you want to ledge trap him, but you don't want to get hit by side B, just bait it, just condition it, and you'll ledge trap him for free. His recovery is pretty annoying because he just rises with armor or invincibility or intangibility, I don't know what it is, and then you can't do anything about it. But most characters who have good gifting tools, like let's say like I don't know, like Ness, Rob, can deal with the Incineroar recovery pretty well. So, and I guess in my case, when I play Roy, I can't really do anything about it. In some cases, if he goes straight down.